Hey guys, I'm Orthodon. We are here for a poll video replacing ReZero as my live action show. Now, we still have plenty of ReZero, or not plenty, but like at the time I'm recording this, we have 4 episodes left. By the time I release this, there might only be uh 3 episodes. Either way, we're coming down to the end here. And we need to start voting on a new show. So, for those of you who don't know how this works, as for my ReZero, it's a live airing slot that I watch that show in. So, basically, what's going to be on the poll is a majority of the shows that are going to be airing in the next season of anime. So, and also, if you're like completely new to it all, I do these polls so that way you guys can vote for what I watch, because a lot of the times I don't research stuff. I'll just like watch things even if they're bad. I'll sometimes just honestly look at the thumbnail and watch it. So I figure I'll let you guys choose. So yeah, it's a vote that happens on Patreon, and you do not need to be a patron of mine to vote. Anybody can vote, but you do need to have a Patreon account, which you can sign up for free. So it's free to sign up. It's free to vote for me, or for the shows on my poll. But there are other benefits on there if you want to check those out to support my channel, and I appreciate that. But here on the first show is gonna be the only sequel, like actual sequel on the list, which is gonna be Dungeon ni Diawo Motomeru no wa Machigateru Daruka 3, which is wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon 3. There's the English translation to that. I'm gonna try to say the Japanese names just because it's fun and I'm terrible at it. So, but for this show, I have seen the first season. I have not seen the second season, which means I actually had to think about this for a bit, because I wanted to put this on the poll because after this one, I have no clue what the rest of these are, except for one other one. But all the rest, there's going to be 16 shows here. All the rest, I have no idea what they are, so I don't know if there's any good ones. So I don't know if, like, the Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon is going to be, like, a highly recommended one or not. I have no idea what's going to be highly recommended this season. I'm at a loss. So I decided to put it on there. I have not seen Season 2 yet, so I will have to do reactions to that in order to do reactions to Season 3. But what I think I'm going to try to do is binge reactions to Season 2 to catch up to Season 3. So I'd probably be releasing like 3 episodes a week or something up until the point where I catch up to where, Season 3 is at. That way, because if I only do 1 episode a week, what it's going to do is it's going to push me past the next season's air date, because I'll have to do 13 episodes and then 13 episodes. So I think I'd miss an entire season of anime, essentially. So I decided that I am willing to do that binge for you guys. If that's what you guys vote for, feel free to do so, and I will do that binge. We'll watch Season 2 and Season 3. So, alright, let's move on. The rest of these are going to be kind of rapidly fired off because I have no idea what any of them are. So, we have Jujutsu Kaisen, which I've heard might be one of the better shows this season. I think it's a horror one, which is kind of intriguing to me because I kind of like a horror genre if it's done right in anime. I think anime can successfully make things be really creepy, almost more creepy than live action in some senses for like scary movies and stuff like that. But alright, so the next one is Higurashi no Nakukoro ni 2020 version. So this is, the English translation is Higurashi When They Cry, and this is the reboot for the show. I watched these a long time ago. Honestly, I can barely even remember what the show is about at this point. I would have to think about it, but I might rewatch the old ones if this happens to win the poll, so that way I'm not going in like a total idiot, and I can just watch the reboot and like know what I'm talking about, But we'll see. As for the next show, it is Noblesse. I know nothing on this one, so I don't really have much to say, and that's the English name too. It's just Noblesse. That's it. So, the next show is Kamisama ni ninata. I'm guessing. Hi. Maybe it's Hai? I don't know. No English translation I could find for that one either. Once again, that's another show that I have no idea what it's about. Maho no Tabi, which is the English is Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena, is like, I think that ended up being like a synonym. Some of these are synonyms and not actual English names. I decided to throw it up there anyway. Now, this one looks like a fun little, like, witch comedy one from when I looked at it quickly. So I think it might be kind of fun. There was another one, I can't quite remember the name, but it was another, like, witch anime that was just a little slice of life one that I really enjoyed. So I guess that's possible that it could be good. Alright, so the next one is going to be Ikebukuro Westgate Park. And I guess that's already kind of in English, except for Ikebukuro. Shoot. I'm pretty sure that's a location, so... yeah, that's, I once again, another one I know nothing of, so moving on to the next one. Akudama Drive, no English translation. Not sure what it is either. Maybe I shouldn't even say, I don't know. I feel stupid for saying, like, I don't know what it means, because I've already stated it, but I don't know what to state for these. I feel like I shouldn't just rapid fire them off. Alright. The next one's Assault Lily Bouquet. No English translation for that. I guess most of it's already in English anyway, so that was kind of obvious. Next one is 100 Man no Inochi no Ue ni or wa Tateru. The English is I'm Standing on a Million Lives. Once again, I think that was another synonym one. It wasn't actually labeled as the English name. It was labeled as synonym, so on the site that I used. This one, the thumbnail kind of caught my eye. It reminded me, at first glance, it reminded me like a Mob Psycho kind of thing. Just, it had like kind of like a ghostly figure in the sky that didn't quite look human. So it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Mob Psycho vibes just from the thumbnail, but that's pretty much all I know about that one. Next one is Yuuko no Moriarty, and the English is Moriarty the Patriot. So when I hear Moriarty, I'm pretty sure that's a Sherlock Holmes thing, right? Makes me think of like some kind of detective anime or something, but it might not have anything to do with it, because it's just a name, so... next one is Kamitachini Hirowarata Otoko. The English is By the Grace of the Gods. So, I mean, just based off the name, maybe it has to do with God's blessing people, maybe? Or gracing them with their presence? I don't know. The next show is going to be Maujo de Nana. And once again, this was another synonym I know for sure. It came out to be, in English, Talentless Nana, which, if that synonym is accurate, it makes me think of maybe like a comedy or something where someone is talentless at something and maybe they use that for humor, or maybe it's a motivational show where someone's talentless at something but tries really hard anyway. I don't know. The next show is King's Raid Ishi wo Sugomono Tachi, and the English of that is King's Raid Successors of the Will, which the only thing I know about this one is I saw that it was based off a video game, and I was sitting there trying to figure out if it's based off the King's Raid mobile game that I think I played for a little while, or if there's a whole different game called the King's Raid. I don't know. Could be interesting, though. If it's based off a video game, I feel like I might get a little lost in it since I didn't play the game long enough to really know the characters, so maybe I won't appreciate the show as much as other people will, but... Alright, the next show is Dragon Quest Dai no Daiboken, which the English translation is Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai. So... I mean, obviously Dragon Quest, the first thing I think of is the game Dragon Quest, but this one I actually checked, and it didn't say it was based off a video game, so maybe it's just a coincidental name, but based off the English translation of The Adventure of Dai, I assume we're following a character named Dai going on adventures. So I did notice a thumbnail for this one because the character reminded me of, like, I haven't really seen much Dragon Ball, but I obviously know what Goku looks like, and it reminded me of like a Goku character as like the main character. But and then the last show is gonna be Maujo de Oyasumi, which in English is Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. Which this one I almost cut. I believe it was just another like cutesy little slice of lifey kind of comedy from the looks of it. So I don't know. I was gonna cut it to keep it at 15 because that's what I did for my last poll. I did 15 and that seemed to work good. But then I was like, it was on my maybe list. It was the only thing on my maybe list. So I'm like, well, what the hell? What's one more show added to the list? But all right, so that's all 16 shows that are going to be on this poll. Hopefully I didn't do too terribly reading them off to you guys, and I should be doing a visual representation on the screen, which I didn't mention before, but I'm sure you saw it, of the things I tried to pronounce so you guys can see the names of the shows and everything as I go. I used to do like the actual like graphics, like really fancy stuff, but I think I'm just gonna do some like generic font on the screen because I don't want to look up too much about these shows. Some of the other ones, like some of my other polls where I have things like Mob Psycho Season 2, I already know like what Mob Psycho Season 1 is about, so looking up like the logo doesn't really spoil stuff if other pictures come up and stuff like that, but yeah. I also wanted to give a shout out to the shows that didn't make the cut. I apologize to anybody that might have been looking forward to one of these shows that are on this list. I'm gonna kind of like rapid fire read them off, but basically these are all the shows that are like sports that didn't seem like I'd be interested in, like romance stuff, which I can like a romance show, don't get me wrong, and there are a couple romance shows on the list that I put up. These just kind of like look like, I don't know, just based off the thumbnail, they didn't look like that great. No offense to anybody that might be looking forward to one of these. If I made a mistake by cutting any of these shows too, let me know, and what I can do is, unfortunately it'll be too late to change the poll, but I may add them to my list if they get like very high praise. I may add them to my list, which then it might get put up as one of my other shows that I watched that isn't a live reaction, you know? But, alright, so the shows that didn't make the cut are Tonikaku Kawaii, which I think this was one of the ones where I almost wanted to add it, but I knew I was going to have too many. This is I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a comedy romance one that I thought might be good. That was probably the only, like, might be good one that I ended up having to cut. The rest of them were kind of like, eh. But Adachi to Shimamura, and then Kuma 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 Bear, which seemed kind of, like, childish. It was another comedy one when I was looking at it. Just by the title and, like, really young kids, it looked like in the picture. It almost seemed like a kid's show. But some of these kids' shows can be, like, very dark, too, from what I've seen in anime, so I never know. The next one is Ochikobor Fruit Tart. Next one's Hypnosis Mike Division Rap Battle Rhyme Anima. So it sounds like it's some kind of rap battle music one that I cut. Meisetsu, and then Taizo Samurai, which looked like it was like a men's gymnastic sports anime. I've seen several sports anime. I don't want to rule that one out just because it's a sports anime and men's gymnastics. You know, I've seen like a ballroom dancing one that like was actually I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, that's. But I decided to cut it just because there was 26 shows total, and I didn't want to have that many on the poll. Magatsu Warheit Zurst, which was... These next three are ones that, like, didn't even have descriptions, and they didn't even have, like, anything about them. So I was a little sketched out on them, and that one was based off a video game, so I decided to cut that. D4DJ First Mix was another music one that I decided to cut, and then Psychio Kamizode was the last one I decided to cut. It was I can't remember. That might have been another... No, that was just like an action, I think is all it said, with with no, like, video, no info, no description, nothing, and the only genre was action. I don't know what's up with that show. So, those are the ones that I did cut off the list that aren't going to be on the poll. Apologies for that, but if any of those are ones you're going to be looking for. Hopefully, though, all of you guys that are voting, I left on the shows that you're interested in watching in the next season of anime, so you guys can vote for that. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's basically all I gotta say for this. Really, like, if I'm gonna project my own bias onto you guys, I really like the first season of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? There's something about, like, that OP character cliche that's sometimes just really fun, and there's a lot of really fun, like, badass moments in that show. So I feel like watching season 2 and season 3 of that could be a lot of fun. And other than that, Jujutsu Kaisen, which is, you know, just a horror anime that I've heard might be decent, could be fun. And then for some reason, Maho no Tabi Tabi, the Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena, is I actually think that might be my third choice if I had to pick a third choice, just because it looks like a really chill, fun show, like really relaxing, you know, which could be fun considering like a lot of the shows I'm watching right now are kind of like very serious in a sense, you know, like very like actiony, serious stuff. So I think a little fun like comedy one could be fun. But yeah, guys, I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for voting in the poll if you did, or even just watching this video. I very much appreciate it. I look forward to seeing what you guys vote for and watching, you know, a new show once ReZero's, you know, completely finished. Oh, shoot. I just realized earlier in this video I completely forgot to mention that ReZero is gonna be doing a second core, essentially. I don't know if it's considered season 3 or if it's just the second half of season 2, but I forgot to say in the beginning that I am going to be watching that, but that doesn't come out right away. It looks like it's... The last thing I said was winter, but it still said like question mark on a date, so I'm wondering if that just means that it might be coming winter and it might get pushed back. I'm not sure, but I will be watching the more ReZero once that comes along, so... Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and all that good stuff. Check out my Patreon, which is where this poll will be. The link will be in the description, actually, which I also forgot to mention that where to find the link for the poll. But, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in my future reactions, guys. Bye-bye.